Well, hello and welcome. My name is Mark Epner. I'm a Chicago-based pilot with over half of my 2,000 plus hours in a Cirrus SR-22. Currently, I fly this 2011 normally aspirated G3, but also fly other aircraft when the opportunity presents itself. I love flying every bit as much as you do and look for ways to share that common bond through multiple paths, including this channel, as well as Simple Flight Radio, which you can find at simpleflight.net. My goal for the channel is to share my passion for aviation with others that share that same sentiment and do so with an eye towards proficiency, safety, and fun.
Time 1852 Zulu weather observation. Wind 080 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear. Temperature 19er, dew point 9er, altimeter 3011. RNAV runway 16 approaching use, landing and departing. Runways 16, 12, and 6. Advisors contact you. Have it is India.
India. Executive Ground Cirrus 9073 Sierra Delta Hangar 5, information India, ready taxi VFR Northwest, please.
Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, current wind is 120 at 7. Let's go runway 16, taxi via Delta Yankee Lima, cross runway 12.
16 Delta Yankee Lima, cross 12, 3 Sierra Delta, thanks. Okay, clear left, clear right. We're turning left on Delta. And when I do so, I'm going to see the ball fly to the right and the rate go to the left. Straighten out here. On a 302 heading, and the compass shows about 305. It's clear left, it's clear right. We're turning right on Yankee. And I'll see the opposite reaction from the instrumentation. Ball slides to the left and the rate shows to the right. Turns to normal. All right, Zulu is clear. We're clear here, and we're also cleared to cross 12 at Yankee. And 1230, final approach is clear. Runway is clear, and we are cleared to cross. All right. Let me do a flow. I've got this to go. I've got landing light. I'm both mags. Air conditioner is off. Switches are set. I'm going to let them know I'm ready. Executive Tower, Cirrus 9073 Sierra Delta, holding short of 16 at Lima, ready to go VFR Northwest.
Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, Executive Tower, good afternoon. Runway 16, line up and wait. Traffic 7 miles to the northwest of the field, Cutlass.
Hey, line up and wait, 16, 973 Sierra Delta. All right, full rich.
Cirrus 458 Tango Whiskey, turn right, Lima 3, ground point 7.
I don't have my landing light because I don't have clearance yet. I will put that on. Otherwise, I'm ready to go with all switches, trims.
Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, turn right, due west until clear the class Delta, then resume on navigation. Runway 16, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, 16, right turn to the west until clear the Delta, 3 Sierra Delta. There it goes. And
Tower low, citation 45 November Sierra, hold short 16 at Kilo, ready to go.
Citation 45 November Sierra, Executive Tower, good afternoon. Runway 16, line up and wait. Traffic 6 miles to the northwest, Cutlass.
All right, line up and wait 16, November Sierra.
Came off the center line, not good form. There's 73. Plenty of right rudder. There's 90 knots, flaps up. Yaw damper on. That's my heading bug to the west.
5 November Sierra, start your turn within a half mile of the departure end. Turn left, heading 040, runway 16, cliff takeoff.
All right, left turn to
looking for 1150.
165 November Sierra.
Cutlass 732 Whiskey Delta, runway 16, number 1, clear to land.
16, clear to land, to Whiskey Delta.
Caps is available.
600.
Today, we're going to talk about what trimming the airplane really means. And I say really means because I was talking to a very competent pilot recently who didn't understand the foundation behind the concept. So to get to the basics with you, when we are flying along, the airplane is at a certain pitch and power setting, And the airplane may want to climb or descend when you take your hand off the control yoke or the side stick, whatever is your control mechanism. And that's because there is a small movable tab called the trim tab, that's at the back of the plane on the elevator, and it helps position the elevator at a certain position. And we can control the trim tab by either a manual wheel in some airplanes, and that wheel is up near the pilot right leg usually, or we may have electric trim, which we control from a switch on our control yoke, and that can generally be moved forward or backward. We'll not talk about side-to-side trim. So when we move the switch forward, it adjusts the elevator so that the nose of the airplane pitches down slightly. And when we move the switch toward the back or back toward us, the pilot, the nose pitches up. So the reason we have that control is if we're flying at a specific altitude, but the control yoke is either pulling on our hand or pushing on it, we have to provide some level of effort to keep it in the correct position. That can get tiring. So we use the trim tab to take the pressure off, so when we take our hand off the yoke, the plane will remain at the same pitch and same altitude. It really helps us to avoid fatigue after a long flight. So not surprisingly, there are pilots, like the one I just referenced, that think the trim tab is there to maintain level flight. Well, technically it isn't. What we're trimming for is speed. Let me show you what I mean.
So now my airplane's trimmed. Let's say I took my hand off. It's 100, right now we're level. It's about 153 knots. So I'm going to switch tanks first of all, because we want to keep our tanks even left and right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my power. And when I reduce my power, notice the nose drops down. And now I'm descending at 600, 700 feet per minute, but my airspeed's still 153 knots. Likewise, if I gain or put more power in, and there's getting a little turbulence here, I'm going to put more power in, more than I had before, and look what happens. I got to go up to 160 knots. Now my nose is going up, and I level it off here, making sure. And guess what? Now I'm climbing at 550 feet per minute, and I'm 151 to 153 knots. So you trim for speed. I'm going to turn right as I have an aircraft in front of me that I'm climbing into. Clear right, so we're turning right away from him to avoid any issues. So the trim, that movement of a small control surface, in this case on my elevator in the back, is all about removing control forces, but what it ultimately is doing is you're trimming for an airspeed. You're not trimming for level flight, because as I change power settings, it will raise or lower the nose using gravity to its favor to maintain that airspeed. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, why is the trimming for airspeed important? If I were to lose my engine right now, and I don't want to, I've been through that once, don't want to ever do that again.
I'm going to insert a quick definition here. Each airplane has a best glide speed, which is defined as the speed at which the airplane covers the most forward distance for each foot it loses in altitude.
And so if we lose an engine, we're not producing any power. We want to glide at that airspeed, which in this airplane, depending on its weight, is between 87 and 88 knots. So you can trim for that. And isn't that cool? Because when you lose an engine, believe me, you're looking for things, you're calling Mayday, you're doing so many things, and your body and your brain will help you. But it's always nice to have that trim there so you know that you're getting the most out of your airplane. I see the Westin Hotel. I see the black buildings I used to work at. I see the airport. I see O'Hare, and they're different. Some people, let's just say it wouldn't be the first time someone mistakenly aims toward O'Hare thinking it's Milwaukee. All right, I'm going to call in now. Executive Tower, Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta 15 Northwest, landing with Kilo.
Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, Executive Tower. Hello, my friend. Wind 090 at 8. Which runway would you like?
Actually, we could do 16.
Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, make straight in, runway 16.
Straight in. Thank you. It's good to hear your voice.
Yours as well. Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, runway 16, clear to land.
Clear to land 16. Guess what? We're going to hangar 5.
Did you think I forgot that one?
No, I knew better.
Wind 090 at 8, altimeter 3011.
A little bit more mixture. We're very high, but I'm going to pull power till I get my 119 knots, which is coming up in 1 or 2 knots. There's 119, first notch of flaps, lower my nose. Take it down. Camera looks like it's focused right on that Westin and those black buildings just to the north of it as we turn south. Hopefully you can see the runway coming into view. See all those 4 white lights to the left of the runway? When I'm right on the glide path, and I'm very high, so I'm going to take a little bit more power out. You'll have 2 red and 2 white, because you want to be, the red means you're low, the white means you're high, so when 2 are red and 2 are white, you're perfect. Or so they say. All right, I'm going full rich. I'm turning on the fuel pump. There's 1 red light. I got yaw damper to go. And I should be getting, there's 500. I'll drop in my 100 knots. Left to right. It's 13 knots from the left to the right, so that's where you see my nose point to the left, and there's a little bit of turbulence. Speed's a little slow, add a little more power. Turn off the yaw damper. There's 2 red over 2 white. Now I got a 13 knot tailwind. Oh well. We adjust. Fly the airplane. Line up the nose, drop our left wing. Fly the plane straight. Turn, turn, turn. Oh, I'll take it. That's nice.
Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, save your brakes. You can roll it down to runway 24 to parking. That's nice hearing your voice.
Thank you, and thank you for 24. I want to save those brakes.
It's always nice to end a flight with a greaser of a landing with a kind word from air traffic control. It's also great to fly with folks like you, and I'm glad you joined me today, and I look forward to our next flight. Until then, blue skies and tailwinds.